Listen, I know that we reached a settlement and that your fine got waived, but you're still under house arrest. You can't just go running around the neighborhood whenever you feel like it.
But there's coyotes out there. I just want to run with them.
This isn't a joke, Roger. If you don't play by the rules, you're gonna get thrown in jail. Real jail. I'm done. So we shorten the radius on this thing. If you so much as take one step out that door, the alarm's gonna go off. And when that happens, you have 5 minutes to get back into the perimeter and enter the code on this computer. Are you even listening to me?
No, not really. Why are you acting like a cop?
Because I am a cop.
They definitely fired you, man.
And now I'm your parole officer.
Wow.
You know, you and your friends got lucky. You better shape up.
See you later, officer.
And this happened yesterday?
Yeah, man, that guy just went ballistic.
You must have done something to provoke him.
Nah, man. First the wrist, now this. That guy's got it out for me.
Weren't you resisting arrest?
You were resisting arrest.
Okay, relax. Hey, Greg, how's Mom and Dad treating you?
It's ridiculous. Mom! The internet's out again! Ah! Mom! Ah!
That good?
Yeah, what's up with his webcam?
My folks aren't exactly tech people.
Why is he staying at your parents' place again?
Because Craig's a little bitch.
Yeah, the court decided to separate us, and since I'm the one that pays the bills around here, he had to leave. Oh, someone's here, and I'm still not wearing any pants.
Nice.
What's wrong?
6 months is such a long time to not be together.
Could be worse. We could be in jail.
I know, but I just don't think I can go that long without... Well, you know.
What?
You know.
Say it.
Yeah, say it.
Roger!
What? Come on! Ow! Jesus.
Listen, 6 months is gonna fly by like no time at all, alright? It's gonna be fine, okay? Somebody's at the door. It's just you and me, okay? I promise. It's all gonna work out.
I'm coming!
Jeez.
Just a sec.
Holy shit, wait a minute. God.
Shit.
She looks good, Swiss cheese, but your head full of hoes.
Shit.
A pistol's link it down.
Martin. Martin. Martin.
Sorry. I just, That's me, yeah.
I'm Carla. I'm your probation officer.
Oh, nice to meet you, Carla. Nice to meet you. Whoa, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from, huh? Where'd it come from? Oh! Give me that hand back. Let me see that for a second. Just 1 second. Just let me see it. Hey, I'll put a gun to your head. Don't make me do it.
What are you doing here, Doug? Mom sent you here to check up on me? What's with the shit-eating grin? You gotta be kidding me. Tell me you're not my new...
Your parole officer.
I do it like, I try to do it like this. No, look at my arm. Don't look at what I'm doing. Look at my arm.
I can't. It's like one of those.
And then like, sometimes it gets, I do like this. Shake weight, not masturbate.
Oh.
Just that's how I got these.
Pit stains. I mean, it's hard workout.
Pit stains. Whatever, you know. It's my natural funk. Just take it in.
I just have to ask you a few questions. Can we please just do this?
Aren't you?
Yes. I'm your parole officer. Thank you. I'm sorry about all the questions. It's just protocol.
Not a problem.
So it says here you were the one who was helping Martin with all the orders and bookkeeping. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, actually, I got Martin involved. See, Steve came to me, and then I went to Martin, because he's always been good with numbers and paperwork and stuff.
Yep.
So Martin would give Steve the orders, and Steve would download the files. You know, the TV shows, movies, music. Other stuff. So he would give the files to Greg, and Greg would burn the DVDs and then give them to Roger to distribute. And you know this already, so why are you asking?
Protocol.
So how did you get stuck with me and Roger?
Oh shit. I was supposed to check on Roger.
Screw it.
I'll let myself out.
Wait. What? I'm not done with you.
Mom! God! Why won't you call Optimum?
So who's at your door?
Oh, my piece of shit brother. Guess what? He's my parole officer.
Yeah, my parole officer came by too. It's actually Roger's guy.
Hey.
Hey, you! Did you get a visit from your parole officer?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Martin.
Oh, some, big, gross.
How about you, Greg?
Is it the Ethernet or is it the wireless? Both of them are down. I can't get through with either.
Sounds like a real jerk. I don't think I'm going to be able to survive this. I'm starting to get cabin fever. And honestly, I think I might have actually preferred to go to prison.
It's not that bad.
Oh, yeah? My older brother's my parole officer. My other brother has to live at home. You two guys can't have any sort of physical relationship. Hell, none of us can even be in the same room with each other anymore. Oh, yeah, and then fucking Roger got his ass kicked? I mean, come on.
Wait a minute, where is Roger?
Boom! Boom!
What the hell are you doing here? You know we're not supposed to be in the same room together.
Dude, you bet me $10 that I couldn't run from my house to your house in 2 minutes flat. I did it in 1:58. Pay me!
Hello? That was over a month ago. Dude, we're on house arrest.
It's cool. I got like 2 and some change to get back.
Roger, listen to me very, very carefully. We're both going to be in a lot of trouble if we don't get the hell out.
Dude, pay up.
You're the dumbest person I know.
Thanks. You know, you could knock. What?
I just thought that. I thought you.
I was doing something illegal. I was running with coyotes, buying basil. Man, you're ridiculous. Dude, this guy is terrible at his job.
Well, find anything?
Nothing that wasn't already in the court documents.
We're gonna have to push harder.
Brian, what are you doing under there?
I thought you were a monster.
What would give you that idea? Brian. You know there's no such thing as monsters, son. I'm gonna prove that to you. But you can never be too safe. Now you know what time it is.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
Yeah, that's taken care of. What I tuck you in tight?
Like a mummy! Ah. What are you laughing at? It's supposed to be terrifying.
Okay. Nice and tight. You know I love you, son, right?
I love you too, Dad.
Good night, buddy.
Wait. Can you turn the nightlight on?
Still need that thing?
Please?
You know you're gonna have to get used to the dark sooner or later, okay? Good night.
Wait. Can you keep the door open a crack?
Fine. It stays open. If I come back later and you're asleep, I'm gonna close it, okay?
Okay, Dad. I love you.
I love you too. Good night.
a bubble, and oh, don't shut your eyes. 'Cause when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. Oh, when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. There's no place to hide. Everybody's sleeping so hard when the lights go out. Oh, no one's gonna hear you scream. There's no escape. 'Cause when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. Oh, when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. There's no place to hide. 'Cause when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. 'Cause when the lights go out, what lurks beyond comes out. There's no place to hide.
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and plugging the turns. And thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going the distance.
I was really curious about the fish tank situation. First of all, how many fish tanks were there? Was there really one in every house? And where did that idea come from to use those as transitions?
There's a different fish tank in every room. The reasoning for it was just a weird obsessive hobby at the time that I committed really hard to. And that's why it wasn't in the script anywhere. It was just like, what would be something kind of different that, again, I'll spend too much money on. And that's where the fish tanks come from. And in the credits, I did put no animals were harmed during the making of this, but pretty much every one of those fish are dead now. So RIP to those guys.
We don't have video chats well before a global pandemic. That was pretty awesome. One thing that I noticed when we were watching it, I was like, these guys are like really ahead of their time.
Yeah, that was talking to Kevin, who plays my parole officer in the thing, Kevin Etherson, and the other day. He actually lives across the street from me, which is weird because we still can't interact. But yeah, as far as the video chat element goes, like if we still needed to produce that show now, cut out the other bits, and you still got the video chat thing going. And we could just probably record it through this, which wasn't an option at the time.
Yeah.
Like, back then, we literally recorded each person individually, and then matted it into the fake chat app that we created, and tried to sync it, which is why I fudged with the glitches because it didn't always work out. Every day was very nice out, so we'd be on the lawn just hanging out, and felt more like summer camp shooting that thing than maybe.
Yeah, it was so fun. That was easily one of the most fun I've ever had working on anything.
And that was kind of what I was aiming for too with making that. We did a lot of projects that year. That was the last thing we wound up shooting. March into May. And the idea was just like, we are burning ourselves out. Let's just make something that's kind of fun with all of us and go for it. And I love making that thing.
What lurks beyond? Guys, the makeup on your creature was astonishing. Like, how did that come about? Who did it? How did that happen?
Tom, maybe you can chime in on that, because we got our guy, he was from the West Coast.
Well, it's actually Phil under there. There's a bunch of really great behind-the-scenes video. Phil doesn't need protective eyewear. He's wearing contacts in there. A bunch of videos of the guy trying to put the contacts in. Did the whole thing practical. There's no, CG modification of that at all.
I think I was in the makeup chair for 4 hours.
Yeah, it was a while. We went real old school with this. That's all, that's a testament to Dan here. Dan wants to shoot on film. He's a huge old school monster movie fan, and he wanted to do it the old school way, so that's what we committed to.
The teeth are great. Is that a grill?
Yeah. He put in a grill, and they were like a silver sheen, but when he was putting on the makeup in the hallway, the lighting is so dim in the hallway, and you're just like, I don't know if this is going to read. Like, I don't even know if this is going to work. And then as soon as Andy threw it on film, it was just like, wow, it looked really good. It just translated.
Yeah, the fact that you guys shot on film, did that force you to be super prepared and be really cautious about what you're actually putting on film?
I would say so. I mean, Saul Negrin donated. It was all in-kind donation for the film. So we had to do processing, but we still had a finite amount, and we really didn't have the budget to, get more cans when we were, Tom and I were, finagling the budget to buy a ton of building materials just to build the set, because we only had part of the set. So we had to, put that together on top of, spending all these other specialty things. So
the whole thing is in the studio except for one scene, right?
Yeah. And at the time the studio was set up with just that living room set, it was never modified prior to us. That was another kind of obstacle thing. It was locked in to be used for core stuff. So we didn't demolish the whole thing. We just put up kind of a median wall to create the closet, and it was this really gross tan color for a while. And we opted to paint it blue, but yeah, that was another piece of, and that ate a lot of our money, like Dan said, to just build flats and buy all that kind of stuff. So no money left for extra film if needed.
Now you know what time it is.
Yeah, it's bedtime.
What about working with a kid? Had anybody had any experience working with a child actor before?
The kid, Dan Taverzi, he is my friend's little brother who I went to high school with, and he was at 5x2 at the time, but Dan had acted in our films in high school, and so he had a little bit of experience, and he was interested in doing this, so we got him and this Dan together, and they hit it off, and I guess it worked out, right, Dan?
It's funny, I was watching it recently, and it did work out, but if anything I've learned over the years is I wish I rolled more time on them, just like back and forth, let them vibe, let them just find that rhythm. Because it was like the beginning's a little, off-putting, their interaction. But as soon as it like gets towards the end when his father's leaving and it's just like, you see his smile and you're like, oh yeah, this is real. This is cool.
The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and...
So, Phil, I mean, first of all, thank you so much for making a 1-minute film, because for those of us that had to watch like 20 student films in the last week, watching a 1-minute film was a real treat. But in all seriousness, man, like I think it was kind of great because the chair racing at Five Times College, whether we're supposed to mention it or not, is like a serious thing that's clearly been going on for a long time. And the fact that you were able to
really?
capture it the way that you did, I thought was pretty great.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, we actually made a 12-episode web series that was just me and my brother competing in very ridiculous things. That one was the second one. That was the second episode that we did, and everybody really liked that one. One day, me and my brother just wanted to go and shoot a fight scene near a field near our backyard, so we just went there and did that. And we decided to end it with a little joke, and it was really popular at Five Times, and everybody liked it. Like, make more. So we did. And the next thing that we decided to do was chair chase, and all of those were not scripted. Not really planned out, other than, let's have a chair race and we'll hit each other and you'll win this one. And then we kind of figured out the shots as we went along and just kind of had fun with it. Never really expecting or trying to do anything incredible or amazing. Just like, let's have some fun. Let's experiment. Let's see what comes out of this.
Yeah, I think it's a good moment of showing when the filmmakers are having fun and that translates onto the screen, because the mood on set really moves into the finished product. Sure. And that definitely shows in that work.
Oh, thank you. That's something that we really value as Thursday shoots and always have valued, was trying to make sure that everyone on set has fun and is treated fairly. And we really, truly do believe that if the filmmaking experience is fun and fair and everybody's having a good time, that from the PA to the director, the product will just come out stronger. And that you can see it. Like, you can watch a film, even a drama or a horror movie, you can watch a film and kind of tell, if you've worked on a lot of sets, like, that must have been really fun to work on. You're just gonna get a feeling for it.
Because he's racing and racing.
Good game tonight, man. Played well.
Great, man. You were awesome.
Wow, stop it.
Nah, I was garbage. You were
Stop
good. You
it,
were
yeah,
good.
I
Just
know.
like those, whatever.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, your doors. Your door's locked.
What?
Can you unlock your door?
Why? We're talking. Listen. Tonight's a good night, right? We're having fun? It's a good night?
Yeah.
Just two bros sitting in your driveway, just hanging out.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Whoa. What do you... Okay, just unlock the door.
Okay. No. This is fun.
What? Whoa. Hold on. You just...
Oh my God.
Okay. Can you just unlock your doors?
This is fun! Okay? It's fun!
Just unlock your door.
Just kiss me and stop being gay about it.
Stop. Please.
No. Whoa. Stop. I'll do it. Okay? I'm gonna do it. Ready? I'm gonna just... Okay? You need to cool off.
First of all, if I was hot, this would do nothing. Second, why are you trying to kiss me?
What? Dude, I'm not trying to kiss you. I'm trying to kiss you.
Dude, stop, man. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What?
What? What? What? No.
What, dude? What do you?
I need this. I really need this.
What do you mean you need this?
This will be my first kiss ever. Let it happen.
Stop,
Please, God.
man. We've known each other since like 3rd grade.
I saw you on the rink. I saw your fucking package. Your dick looked so big.
Oh my God! Stop!
I want to take baths with you again.
Why?
Like when we were kids.
No! What the fuck? God damn it. God! Why are you trying to...
I'm not. Now you're like me.
Hey. Do you think you could maybe take me home now?
Sure, man. Why don't you just hop up in the front? Where it's warm.
Warm?
Warm.
Good game tonight, man.
I feel like I've seen so much of Kevin and Tom over the last few days watching all these movies. I feel like I know you guys like on a level that I clearly have never met you both. So this is pretty weird seeing you now.
I'd like to believe that I'm not like most of the characters in any of Merck's movies.
To being me.
I am exactly like most of them.
Well, I roofied you.
Well, first of all, whose choice was it, Merck? I'm assuming it was yours, to start off with, as I mentioned, I'm a big music person, that Bee Gees song, which is like such a great prior to disco Bee Gees song. I've got to get a message to you.
Convenience is kind of based on my experience working retail and just like those weird customers that'll come in right before you're about to close. That song actually played at the store. It was Tuesday morning. It played there like every night. So I was like, that's going in the movie.
How did y'all pull off the pee?
That's a bottle of Gatorade, yellow Gatorade, the one that you can like squeeze. So Melissa's just holding it and squeezing it.
That is a lot of pee.
Melissa, I really like your performance in Convenience. How did they approach you, and what was it like working on it?
Thank you. That was actually my first student film at Five Towns. I didn't know any of them yet, and actually Phil just found me from an acting class and asked me to be in a film, and I had no idea what it was about. I was very surprised when I got there.
Can I help you with something?
Kevin, I like how you play the straight man in a lot of these films. What's it like when you're doing takes? Do you ever feel like you're about to crack up?
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to play the person that is like reacting off of these really weird and crazy situations.
Okay. Can you just unlock your doors?
It depends on if I make it through the take without cracking up, or if I make it through the take remembering all my lines.
Merc, firstly, how do you get away with being such a pervert?
I remember having a lot of doubts about that film all throughout. Like, I remember giving the script to Kevin. Hey, man, I know this is like a weird script. Like, you want to do it? And then actually sitting with him in the Mac lab when I had the finished edit and I showed it to him. And I was like, dude, is this like funny or is this just like weird and people are going to think I'm a weirdo now? This is fun, okay? It's fun.
But I think I remember when you first told me about it, and I was like, yeah, this is weird, but like, let's figure out how to make a weird thing funny. And I just felt like you wanted to do something, and if you wanted to do it that bad, we should like support it. And if it meant us kissing, then you just gotta do that. You gotta support your friends.
You gotta kiss your friends, man.
Yeah, you gotta kiss your friends.
Hey, Merc, how is your approach different to Blind Date? Because, I mean, obviously it's significantly longer than the other ones. I mean, it's a 40-minute film as opposed to like a 7-minute film. So how different was the approach to that being the length of the film?
Blind Date, I actually, I had intended to make it as my junior film. That year, we were doing everyone else's senior thesis. And when we got to like, I think mid-April, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it as my senior because there's no way we're getting this done in time. I actually had the whole summer to like really work on the script more and figure out the locations and just get all the planning where it needed to be.
Hurricane Sandy also happened in the middle of that shoot.
Yeah, that's right. The Sandy storm happened. Was it the last week we were shooting? It was like we were almost done.
We had to do the Northport exterior stuff, and that was trying because Northport was underwater for a while.
And
I remember being nervous if I had enough gas to get to each location because there was no gas.
That's right, the gas line. Yeah, it was trying.
What's going on? What's happening?
Can y'all talk about what it's like participating in one of these timed challenges, the 48?
So Making Friends was our fourth time not sleeping for 2 days straight and trying to make something. It started out as just like a cool thing to do. Then it forced us to make something every year. I don't think organically I would have ever come up with any of the projects we made for the 48 hour.
Now, was the school running that 72-hour competition when y'all were there, or?
That was inspired by us doing that competition.
Yeah, that was actually Charlie and Phil, because we did the 2012, I think, New York 48 hour. Charlie and Phil just like loved that idea so much that they brought it back to the school.
Why would you do that? Why is that a thing you would do?
I personally think that every time we did a 40-hour film festival, it made us stronger as like a film unit. And I think that's why we get along so well and we trust our ideas so much and we're like just really connected. With so many people, we were all involved, like we got to bring this all together because that's the experience that students should really be getting is like finding the crew and finding the people to make movies because it's a lot of work.
One thing that it definitely helped us do, Charlie mentioned, was learning how to work together. And I think every year we learned how to work together even better.
Yeah.
Like we were already pretty lucky. Like our group of friends, we don't have big egos. Like we're all very friendly with each other to begin with. But there's always a little bit of tension. It's unavoidable when you have multiple people trying to write a script. And these definitely helped us come together and figure out good ways to really work on our ideas and improve them and combine them together.
Movies, man. I got a system.
I have another for you.
More letters from your secret lover.
Of course, I thought I'd show you so you could see how it's done.
Give me that. Jane, Jane, who holds the flame of my heart, which once was tart, held closed the doors of pride and war to teach me of a thing called love. While the muskets blasted and the priests fasted, we knew nothing contrasted what we had mastered. I love it.
Did you hear that? There's nothing out there. Finished another one.
You know I'm obsessed with you, right?
Are you?
Yes, it's actually quite unhealthy.
Did you see that?
Hello, are you okay? You're worrying, dear.
There was a young man. He was doing something. I don't know what it was. Did you see it? He was.
There's nothing out there. Come inside, have some tea.
No. No, I think I'll go for a walk. Clear my head.
Oh, please sit. You don't look well.
No. I need to go.
Joseph! If you're going to walk out on me, you are not going to do it without kissing me first.
I love you.
Love you too.
Come on, get up! Move, man, come on!
Confederates are coming. You stay here, you're gonna die.
That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold, and the end is not yet.
You're so cold and pale.
Something forgotten. He did something.
What did he do?
He did something.
What did he do, Joseph?
Something unforgivable.
What did he do, Joseph?
He killed you. He murdered you.
Where will you go now?
It's not safe for me there anymore.
Come lay with me.
You're not fucking real.
What's the matter, love?
You're not fucking real!
What's wrong, love? You don't look well.
Something are you? I killed you. I murdered you.
Come lay with me and tell me another story.
I killed you!
It's safe here.
I loved you. I loved you so much.
You know I'm obsessed with you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Agoli. We've run MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans. We've run all the tests we can. We just can't diagnose it.
You don't know? Is this all you've got?
Alan, I'm going to be honest with you. We've never seen anything like your case. I've diagnosed cancer, cysts, overdoses. Everything any reasonable doctor would check for. Nothing. I've done everything we could. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything you can do? What do I... Do I just wait to die?
Alan.
How do you know my name? Oh, fuck. Looks like we have the same thing.
It has no name, no cure, no way of tracking it.
Then why bring me here? Why send me the letter?
How long have you had symptoms?
I don't know, about a week and a half. It started with fevers, and then migraines. And then I started to cough a lot, but, I started to cough up blood. And then I thought I had lung cancer, but then it got worse. I started to vomit up a lot of blood.
From what it sounds, you have 2 to 3 weeks. All of this is an experiment to see its effects inside us and where the results. You never notice the small things. Who picks up the trash, who mows your lawn, who brings in the mail. And that's how they monitor us, through the things that you don't notice. Let me ask you, when was the last time you've been to the doctor?
Sir, do you have an appointment?
I need to see Dr. Rosenbaum, like now.
If you don't have an appointment, you're gonna have to make one.
I need to see him now.
Well, I can't do anything for you unless you have one.
Doc.
Hello. Did you have an appointment?
What do you mean?
I don't think we have you on file.
I was just here. Look at me.
You're gonna have to come back.
I can't come back, Doc. I don't know how much longer I have.
Sir, if you're not going to leave, I will call the police.
Fine.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Obviously, one thing that was really incredible to me was, us watching this film essentially about a disease during this time was kind of bizarre. Have you been thinking about it a little bit differently? I know you didn't make it that long ago with everything that's going on, and now there is this kind of, is everybody infected situation?
Looking back on it, it is kind of a little ironic that we did make this a while ago.
Yeah.
And this is all happening now.
Yeah, we were ahead of our time. That's kind of crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We've never seen anything like your case. I've diagnosed cancer, cysts, overdoses. Everything any reasonable doctor would check for.
But I just thought it was pretty interesting that here we are now in this moment where, like, who's infected, and it was kind of eye-opening. What was your influence from your perspective when you were filming it?
For writing it, it was kind of just the idea of we had to go something suspenseful. So we thought, what's more suspenseful than you don't know who to trust, and everyone out there is kind of out to get you a little bit. So it was the idea of one person has it and they think they're alone, and then very quickly it becomes this thing where you don't know how alone you are or what it really means.
I don't think we have you on file.
I was just here. Look at me.
You're gonna have to come back.
I can't come back, Doc. I don't know how much longer I have.
Sir, if you're not going to leave.
I was curious about the doctor's office location. So locations are obviously one of the toughest things to wrangle as a student when you don't have a budget to rent them out for. So can you guys talk about how you secured that?
Luck.
Well, yeah, we got super lucky with that because our friend Nicole, she was allowing us to stay with her family. That was kind of our home base originally, and it ended up working out that her parents are, I believe
her dad is a chiropractor.
Yeah, chiropractor. So all the stars aligned at that moment.
That was the interior of their house. Was he had the doctor's office attached to it,
and he is the doctor.
Yeah.
I think we also used his own X-rays that he had of himself.
Yeah.
So we put it in the background as well.
John, one thing I noticed from most of your work is you have like a sense of mise en scène. And so like you're really careful about making sure whatever is in the shot is important. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that with like how it was trying to make sure everything was important in the shot when you had such little time shooting.
When it came down to it, I looked for where would the natural sources of light be? How would somebody naturally walk around, but as well as not catching like mundane actions. And our main focus, we had small focuses, the line of dialogue, character, as well as a prop. So it's focusing in on those key aspects and choosing which way we can further the story without looking at things that weren't necessary. Mainly focusing on who was the main characters and what was going on.
Yeah, I really like the X-ray shot and the shot at the end when the two men are right behind Matt about to apprehend him or assassinate him.
Water and air temperatures have been on a steady increase around the globe. This report comes after extensive amounts of research conducted by our nation's leading scientists. It's a problem. You're looking at major climate changes that will start doing permanent damage, soon rendering this planet uninhabitable. Other sides contest the issue despite the recent evidence. I think this whole thing is another ploy from this Gloss administration. Try to rally more support. These bureaucrats need to start tackling real issues and quit spoon-feeding us lies. We need our voices to be heard, not ignored. This is time for a change. In other news, Data has caught the eye on our current president, and she'll be addressing the nation on this issue tomorrow.
Okay, increase the levels 45%. We're gonna nail it this time. Slowly. Easy. 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 Cut the power. Cut it!
We as a race are on the verge of a major energy crisis. As your leader, I have taken action to seek a clean, abundant, and powerful alternative energy source. As we approach this new era, we are that much closer to an economically affordable and safer production of power. I encourage you all for your continued support. Together, we will change this world. Thank you.
Madam President, we can comment on the energy crisis.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Mrs. Brett, we're terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
I just want to know what that thing is.
Man, it was a weather experiment. It malfunctioned. For the sake of national security, we're going to ask...
I'm just lucky I didn't get killed. Who am I going to tell anyway?
Again, we're sorry.
Have a good morning, Mrs. Bratz.
Giles Barker. Yes. Yes, when? I'll be down there right away.
Okay, gentlemen. What do you got?
Well, no one has taken responsibility for it.
The markings on it are tough to make out. But whatever it is, got pretty banged up.
In all honesty, madam, we have no idea where this thing came from.
What do you mean you don't have any idea where it came from?
Madam President, we believe this thing is from another world.
Giles.
Madam, I'm looking at these photographs, and I've never seen anything like it.
Does the press know anything about this?
No.
And the lady whose yard it crashed into?
No problem. She thought it was a weather experiment.
All right. So if this thing came from another world, it's probably a safe bet to assume that it got here under a tremendous source of power.
I would say that is a safe bet.
Well, I want to know where it came from. How did it get here? Why did it come here? Is it a weapon? Is it part of a weapon? I want to know everything about this, including what makes it tick.
Madam President, we think
Our report suggests that...
I don't care what the report suggests. What I want are facts. Giles, I want you in the laboratory right now. Your team should have already started dissecting the wreckage, so get to work.
Absolutely, Madam President.
This goes for the rest of you. And I mean all of you. You will keep a lid on this. I did not want to hear one word of this leaking out to the press, or any other country for that matter.
So what can you tell me so far? Not all that much. I can tell you a few things. The materials are similar to those found here. I can also tell you that there seem to be some sort of discs containing code. We have somebody trying to decipher them as we speak.
Is it a weapon? Has it been checked for chemicals and diseases? Did it go through quarantine?
I don't think it's any sort of weapon. And we had it screened for chemicals or diseases. Nothing that poses any health risks came up. At least none that we know of.
So you don't think it poses any risk to the public health?
Like I said, no chemical or disease we know of came up. I'm still standing here, aren't I?
What else?
As I was about to say, the circuitry is similar to ours. We also know that it ran on some sort of fuel cell when it was functioning.
Where is it?
It's right there.
What's in it?
It's similar to a basic battery for us. I just know that this thing didn't get here under the power supplied by that cell.
You keep me posted on the status of those discs. I want to learn everything we can.
You got it.
Rising temperatures and climate change around the world has our country asking, who's going to take care of this? After losing ground in recent polls, President Julia Salako hopes her administration's new plans for a cleaner energy source will win her a presidential term.
Every vote counts. I'll say. What's on your mind, Giles?
Have you ever wondered if what you're doing has a purpose?
I constantly ask that question about my marriage.
No, I mean, I'm devoting months and months of my life developing this new energy source, and I'm starting to really wonder who it's for. I mean, is it to better society, or is it for more votes?
Giles, when I was a boy, my mother would always take me to the park. One time, walking along the paths, I came across these little bugs doing something in the cracks of the pavement, moving dirt or pushing crumbs around. I sat down to watch them, and I wondered if they knew what it was they were doing. Then it dawned on me that whatever they were doing, it was for the colony. And maybe what they were doing at that very moment wasn't even clear to them. But in the end, it probably made sense. Maybe even have a worthwhile result. Well, I'm going up. Are you staying?
No, I'm gonna be heading out soon.
Giles, you're a bright guy. You'll figure this out.
So we built this drive. It does a pretty good job of interpreting the data on the disks. I just need to...
What was that?
Hold on.
Look at that.
That's...
Wait. Can you pause it?
I can try. Hold on.
Jog back. Back. Stop. There.
Whoa. What is that?
Do you have those other discs?
Yeah, but we're having trouble interpreting one of them.
Can you copy it to a format I can look at home?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Get me those discs. Morning, Giles. What do you have for me? Well, the craft contained these discs filled with data. Now, we had a hard time trying to read them, but we did. All but one. And we found this.
What is this?
The energy source you were looking for. These discs were loaded. It's phenomenal. The energy source is actually much easier to produce and distribute than we had thought. I mean, with a little bit of research, we should be able to produce it in mass quantities in a short amount of time.
Giles, you're a genius.
Thank you.
We're gonna have this election.
I'm gonna set a press conference. Giles, don't be late for this. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day of achievement for this administration and our nation.
Hello. You did. I'll be down there quickly as possible.
I encourage you all to vote. And in the coming months, invest in this newly discovered technology so we can build a better tomorrow today. Thank you. Godspeed.
So what's up? We got the last disc early this morning. We wanted to make sure it was working before we called you in.
Why is that?
Trust me, sir. You don't want to see this for yourself.
Let's see it.
Terra Firma, third planet from the sun, the Earth. In the final hours of Earth's existence, my colleagues and I have decided to assemble an interstellar time capsule. About 10 years ago, we realized that we were going to run out of an important natural resource. Oil. A few of us spent time and as much money as we could get to try to muster a solution. Fortunately, we ran out of time. The source of energy that we harnessed to power our race, atomic energy, was also used in weapons of mass destruction, which are now being launched against major global cities and military targets for control of the few remaining oil fields around the world. If the bombs don't kill us, the amount of radioactive fallout will. We send this as a warning and as an artifact to anyone who may find this craft that our civilization was here. Our language may not be understood, but our images will be. The power we sought after is our downfall. Choose your path wisely. God bless.
Do you realize what is at stake here? Do we tell the president?
I understand the sensitivity of this. I expect a full report in the morning. We'll speak with the cabinet then. This atomic energy has got a lot more to offer than just the coming election. Our country can build, it can expand. Our society will thrive and other countries are going to want what we have. We will become the most powerful country on our planet. Clean this up. I don't want to hear another word about this human race or the planet Earth ever again.
Dad? Dad? Dad?
Oh, shit.
thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. What's going on?
Oh, just hanging out here watching like dozens of student films from years ago, usual.
Cool.
The only trilogy we got to watch when we were reviewing these student films was Hard Boiled Haggerty parts 1.
Oh boy. Sorry.
I also can't stand it when I come into work and some guys in my office with the intent of putting a bullet in me.
I'm a big fan of, like noir films like The Big Sleep, To Have and Have Not. So that clearly was an influence on what you were doing, even down to like the typeface.
Yeah, the first one we did totally for fun. We were just bored and we kept shooting these stupid trailers for movies that were never going to be made. And we're like, let's just do this silly thing. And somehow it did really well at the film festival. And then the second one did really well the next year. And then that third one ended up being like this summer workshop project that year. And I graduated. So it was like, oh, cool. I get to do another thing before I'm set off into the real world. For me, looking back, it's like, well, I wrote the character, I was in it, but we should have casted a 45-year-old has-been looking person to play the character. It should have, there's stuff in hindsight. It's like, we should have done this. We should have, I'm glad people liked him, but it was like, in the grand scheme, why were we trying to hold true to this so badly?
What's interesting about A Call to Arms, John, is that you have an array of performers.
Yeah.
There's so many actors, they're committed, and it looks like you have a serious production here. And I know Saul was around, he probably gave you some advice. What was it like doing that massive production with locations, ensemble cast?
Call to Arms was the senior project. There was another project the year before that was a bunch of locations, a lot of crew, and we had all worked on that. And I think with all of those projects, it was like, okay, what haven't we done? What do we not want to do? And like, where can we put this in terms of a school project?
Can I help you, gentlemen?
This is Brett. We're terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
The house at the beginning of that movie is actually over in Huntington. I just remember leaving a letter in this guy's mailbox, like, this is perfect for what I need. Like, give me a call, and he did. But I just remember one of the struggles we had, it was like Christmas Day, we're on winter break, and the main actor sends me a message, hey, I'm moving to LA January 1st.
Stop. There.
And he never told me that. So we weren't coming back to finish his scenes until after the new year. So I call my buddy Charlie up and I'm like, yo, we got to go shoot the end of this movie tomorrow.
Yeah, there were moments also in the series where you had guns and I think there were some railroad tracks involved. Yeah, it's definitely pretty challenging to get some of those things done safely on a student level production. Yeah. Can you speak to how you pulled those off?
Yeah, the railroad track, we looked at train times and found one track that said, here's a train at 6 a.m. and here's one at 5 p.m. So I laid down, I was like, you're going to help me if something happens, right? We're going to... Some of those locations, like the docks in the third Haggerty movie, we drove around, went to all the fishing piers around Long Island that we could think of, just started asking boat companies if they could help us out. Same thing. I mean, it was just grinding it out till someone said yes. We had this idea, one of the bad guys swings away on a crane and we talked to the owner. We're like, how do we do this? I mean, this poor kid, he was safety chained 4 different places onto that wire. So God forbid something happened. We're like, okay, he's at least going to be on this thing. But it was all literally stuff we have never tackled or thought about. I work as a camera assistant now, and in the real world is there's a department kind of for everything, and there's someone dealing with all of that stuff. In hindsight, yeah, some of it wasn't the smartest thing, and some of it was I have to take this risk to do what we want to do. I don't recommend doing any of that, by the way, but that's
yeah, especially in light of some history that's happened since then.
Yeah, I mean, there was just, we didn't know better and we were young, and some other things, like you said, have happened since, and it's the hindsight part again is we shouldn't have done some of those things, but it was fun to do. I'm not gonna lie. We had a good time doing it.
right, boys, let's do this.
Where'd you go to get fucking hand release?
No. I gotta walk like 30 blocks to find an ATM.
It's bullshit. You went for a hug.
Yeah, right. I got jerked off by an 80-year-old sand nigga in the back of his bodega.
Probably did, you fucking homo.
Ah, steal.
Full. Take a piss. Hey, why don't you get a haircut while you're at it too, huh? What's it cost me?
It's 3 to you. See that now? Cut stud.
What'd I miss?
Nothing. You in or what?
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm not here.
Hello. Alex, yeah. Yeah, 1 second. Alex, phone. It's for me? Who is it? I don't know, I'm gonna answer it to fucking find out.
So last night I'm watching Showtime at the Apollo. Didn't see the ass on this
Hello?
man.
Hello?
Where's your pride, right?
Hello? Hey, Ben. Who was that? I don't know, they asked for you. What'd they say? Did they give you a name? No, they just asked if you were here. Didn't they say anything? What did they sound like? Was it a guy, a I girl? don't know, it's a fucking guy. Sit down so I can look at my cards.
How many cards you do?
Alright, Jackson, one-eyed kings are,
One-eyed kings?
I meant one-eyed fucking Jackson, what an asshole.
About your uncle.
Ooh, nasty prick.
Well, you need a
Nasty prick.
translator.
5-card stud. Suicide Kings and one-eyed Jackson Wild.
Fucking hide from me, you piece of shit! You gonna duck me, you motherfucker! Huh? You got money to play cards, but you ain't got money to fucking Dominic, stop!
I'm gonna give you your money. Don't fucking do this. I'm gonna get you your money. You can do this. I'm gonna get you your money. I swear, man. Sir,
He's got this.
that's yours. Take that.
This is mine? What am I gonna do with this, you fucking piece of shit? Fucker! Listen to me, you cocksucker. You listen good. You owe me 60 fucking grand. You understand me? I want my fucking money. Or the next time you see me gonna be your last time you fucking see me. You got me? Piece of shit. Hey, how you doing? What can I do for you? Yeah, I'm looking to sell this ring here.
What are you looking to get?
What are you looking to give me?
I could give you 3,200.
You serious?
You could take it anywhere you want. They're gonna tell you the same thing.
Alright, fuck it. I'll take it somewhere else.
All right, listen. I give you 3,500. That's my best offer.
Alex, Jesus Christ, what the hell are you doing here?
I need to talk to you. You got a minute?
It would have been nice if you had called me first.
I know. I got nowhere else to
All
go.
right,
I'm
all right,
sorry.
all right. Hang in for a second. I gotta talk to him about some problems he's having. What can I say?
Take care of your business. Do what you have to do.
Take care.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you, man. Take care.
Take it easy.
Come into my office. So where the hell have you been? No one's seen you in months. You could have been dead for all I know.
Yeah, I'm still breathing.
Yeah, not for long, if my dom ever finds you.
Well, that's actually what I wanted to talk to you about.
Of course. Why else would you show up after all this time, huh?
I was hoping you could do me a favor. Give him this.
How much is that?
3,500.
You gotta be crazy if you think I'm gonna give this to Dom.
Why?
Alex, you've been missing for 3 months. What do you think? You can just dance in here with a little bit of cash, everything's gonna be all right now?
I know, I fucked up, but I'm trying to do the right thing now, if you hadn't noticed.
I understand, but this is a fucking joke.
That's why I need you to talk to him, too. Convince him to let me get back on a payment plan so I can get this thing paid off.
What makes you think he's gonna listen to me?
He's your son.
So? You know how Dominic is. He hasn't listened to me since he was 14 years old. And besides, why would he do you favors after what you did?
So what are you saying? It's too late to pay? I'm fucked no matter what I do.
Alex, if you had walked in here with 60 grand, or even 40, 30 for Christ's sake, I'd say you probably got nothing to worry about. But 3,500 in a payment plan?
So what, you're not gonna talk to him?
I don't think it's gonna make any difference, Alex. You tested his credibility. He has to do something. He's got no choice.
So what the fuck am I gonna do?
There's not a lot you can do. What else is there?
Listen, Luigi, I know this is a lot to ask, but what if you bought off the debt and I paid you?
I knew that was coming. I can't do that, Alex. I'm sorry, but I can't undercut Dom that way.
I had to go. But I just want to say thanks, Luigi, for everything.
Alex, you're a good boy. I wish there was something I could do to help. Honest.
I'll call you up, let you know what I decide to do, huh? Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, what can I get for you?
Black Label.
$7.
What's going on in the back room? Why are those doors shut?
It's closed except for the big poker games.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of action going on back there. You should buy in.
Hey, buddy. Where you go shopping? The Salvation Army? They do your hair, too? For a minute there, I thought they let the busboy play with it.
Laughing is good. I hope you're still laughing when I got all your money.
Oh, really? With that stack? Yeah, I give to the poor. Go buy your suit.
Keep it. I'll have fun taking it from you.
Wine's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad, tell me something. What the fuck is Alex Malone doing in your casino right now?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Come on, Dad, don't fucking lie to me, huh?
Hang on a second. Listen, Dominic, I had no idea he was down there playing. He came in here to talk to me. I thought he left right away. I'm gonna go down there right now, and I'm gonna get rid of him, okay?
No. Don't you do a fucking thing. I'm gonna take care of him myself.
No, you listen to me, Dominic. Do not come down here and make a scene in my club.
No, that's too fucking late.
No, Dom, listen. The fuck?
Get the fuck up.
Deal him out. What the fuck is wrong with you? Didn't we just have a fucking conversation? Now you're gonna go blow it all in this fucking card game?
Luigi, I can take these guys. It's a fucking joke. I'm up 20 grand already.
What's wrong with you? There's no fucking guarantees. You can also lose.
So I'll leave town. I gotta sort this thing out with Dom. Like you said, $3,500 is nothing, so what am I really risking? Luigi.
Rudy, you didn't see Dominic around here, did you?
Oh, what? What's going on?
It's a long story. You go back inside, lock the door, don't let anybody go in and out. I'll call you when it's all clear.
You got it, boss.
Call.
I'll call.
Check.
Check it.
Check.
Bet 500.
Sayonara.
Done.
Call. Check's good.
No checks here. $2 grand.
Call. Check.
I'll be nice. Let's make it 2 again.
Let's make it 4.
You think you could check raise me, you little fuck? You ain't got shit. All in.
Call. Trips.
Are you fucking kidding me? A 2-5? Who the fuck plays a 2-5?
Tommy, calm down.
This fucking asshole doesn't even belong here and he beats me with that bullshit?
I was big blind. You should have raised.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
I'm just saying, it was a free hand. If you would have raised, I would have folded.
What, are you gonna teach me how to play cards now?
No, I'm just saying.
Fuck this shit. Keep the money, you fucking dirtbag.
Take it.
It's about time. Get some of my money back.
$1,000.
Ooh, setting it off early, huh? Little rich. How'd I double it?
Call.
$3.
Call.
$6,000, tough guy.
I'm gonna put you all in.
Do it. What do you got?
Boat. 10s over aces.
Aces over 10s. Jerk off. Ah!
Give me a 10, man.
Yeah! Fuck!
How do you like that? Give me my money. That's what I'm talking about.
I believe this is yours.
Wait a minute, how much is this?
60,000. Congratulations. This is your life, your future. Don't blow it.
Don't gotta worry about that.
call him and set up a meeting. Let me know how everything goes.
I'm not just saying this to be nice. I think Draw was my favorite on a variety of levels, man. I mean, it was just so well done, completely captivating. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with the questions on like how you got some of the people to be in that movie. Kind of blew my mind. I was like, there was a moment I was like, wait a minute, that guy's in Breaking Bad and Scarface. How is he in this student's film? So right off the gate, how did that happen? What's the connection? How did you do that?
I had a really massive ego, and it was all about me just trying to feel validated. Like, that's really what it was. It was just, I thank you for those kind words. I don't think it's a good film. I think it's a terrible film. And the reason for that was because as artists, we're responsible to get out of our own way. Ryan Pierce was all over that. It can't be about the filmmaker, and it was. And it was just about me showing off. And I was able to raise money and call agencies through IMDb Pro, and I had no idea like what I was saying, what I was doing. I was nervous, but I was able to do it because I was able to secure the funds.
How did that work? I mean, that was like before GoFundMe and stuff, I would assume, right? Were you just like having to like talk to relatives and go around to people and just do anything you could to do it? Is that how it worked?
Well, what happened was I knew a guy who was pretty wealthy in real estate and stuff, and he felt that I had maybe some type of potential in that field, and he gave me a substantial amount of money just because he has it. It was probably the most interesting way to learn a lot quickly. You know what I mean? So like I don't want to say it was all bad. I learned a lot, and I was just grateful to have that funds. And then that's really what it came down to: is if you have the money, you can go get any actor you really want.
Ryan, did you approach the film as like a proof of concept for a feature? Or did you take a short script and kind of develop it from there?
Not at all. I was shooting without a blueprint. I had no solid locked script because I didn't trust my initial instinct, which was, I won't get into it now because it would take a lot of time, but I was insecure and I didn't want to be vulnerable. And even the content, looking back on it, because I haven't watched it in years until the other day when I ripped the DVD. And the content to me is like, so like, be vulnerable. If you're going to make a film, go talk about the corny stuff, about like the things that make people cry. Like take a chance, like put yourself out there. What I did was I was protecting myself using gangster type stuff. And it's, to me, I look at it and it's, look, I learned a lot, but there was no concept at all. It was just get actors, go big, secure locations. And I did all that. But when I look at it, a better film could be made for $0. And it was too long too. These weird crane shots and Steadicam shots, it's like, those are so unnecessary. They weren't, there was no reason for those to be in there except for the fact that I love Goodfellas and was like, oh, I want my big Steadicam moment. It's like, who cares? It's so irrelevant to the actual film.
Well, I think it's really great that like you're able to look back and go, okay, maybe that film was, you know, an example of me then. And you're pretty hard on yourself, but it's also interesting to hear people say, you know, this film reflects me then, not now. Especially with like things coming out where people have to like pay the price when there's like a tweet from 10 years ago or anything. But yeah, what would you say to yourself if you could go in a time machine and say something to yourself before you walked on set that first day? What piece of advice would you say to yourself?
I would have kept it way smaller, been like, dude, what is with this grandiose narcissistic gesture? What are you doing? Like, take this budget and make 10 smaller, more personal films. You know, that's what I'd say to myself. But me, I had to, at the time, I was 25 or 26. And when you're 25 or 26, I mean, me, I was really insecure. I wasn't healthy. I drank Red Bulls and smoked cigarettes, and I was really overweight. And I just was like, I wanted validation. And because I have a mouth on me and I was able to secure that budget, I went big, but unnecessary, very unnecessary.
Alex, you've been missing for 3 months. What do you think? You can just dance in here with a little bit of cash? Everything's going to be all right now?
I know, I fucked up, but I'm trying to do the right thing now, if you hadn't noticed.
So I would just tell myself, dude, keep it small. 2 actors in a husband and a wife in a room, and give me some, like, almost like I admire films that are character driven, low budget. I'm not into Marvel anything. I don't see Star Wars anything that's never turned me on. I love, like, when you see the human condition exposed, when you see what we're all dealing with, because life is hard. It's really insanely hard. And when people connect to art in a real way, it's because they're seeing the humanity in it. And there's no humanity in Draw, in my opinion. I'm glad you guys liked it, but that's about on the surface as I can imagine making any film, you know?
I'm gonna take care of him myself.
No, you listen to me, Dominic. Do not come down here and make a scene in my club.
No, that's too fucking late.
No, Dom, listen.
It sounds like you're saying that there was a bit of maybe ego involved in some way. How quickly did you come to realize that or learn that and to gain that perspective?
I would say I learned that within the last couple of years. I always knew it was bad, but like you said, it was like at the time, I would shoot more. Like my advice to students would be shoot often, because what that was like I couldn't make it perfect, but I wound up editing it for almost 2 years. Like, because I couldn't find the story. It's like we had this saying, we'd laugh, fix it in post. And like, it was all ego. There was no vulnerability in that at all, because men are like, you know, men. It's like, be an artist and like take a chance and like kind of, you have to like, don't try to build dams on the river of truth. Like, let that shit flow, you know? And I was not doing that. And again, you age and you get older and wiser. And now looking back, you know, it's like interesting because filmmaking is such a collaborative process. And even though I tried, I think I was too self-absorbed.
Let me know how everything goes.
I wonder what today will bring us. Hi, sweetie.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I called yesterday about meeting with you.
Oh, yes, of course. Get comfortable, my dear.
I'm not really sure how all this works.
All right, well, why don't you tell me what brought you here today?
Well, I've been struggling a lot lately. More than usual.
Struggling with what? You don't have to be afraid. Now, in order for this to work, you have to open up to me. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am what is called a seer. Now, I don't predict people's futures, but I help them escape their fear and anxiety, whatever it is that's preventing them from moving into the future. Now tell me, what is your fear?
I don't know. Heights, snakes.
Okay, good. Now tell me what you're struggling with.
The dark, abandonment, being alone. I dream every night, my teeth falling out, and then blood just starts pouring out of my ears.
Now I want you to know that the only way to eliminate your fears is to face them directly. Now I just want to warn you, everything that you will see or hear is not real. And no matter how intense and how real it may seem, you're safe. And we can stop whenever you'd like.
So how do we do this?
Here is a book of common irrational phobias. Nyctophobia, fear of darkness. Autophobia, fear of abandonment. And monophobia, fear of being alone. And those nightmares? Fear of losing control or being powerless. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Take my hands and close your eyes.
No! Come back! No! I have to go.
No, sweetie, don't go. Please, stay.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Hi, Sarah. I thought you'd call. And yes, you can come in now.
Oh. Okay, yeah. I'll see you soon. Thanks for letting me come in at this time.
Of course. I want to help solve your troubles. Let's begin.
That was too real. That was the worst nightmare of them all.
But yes, after this, your nightmare will be gone.
I hope so.
How are you doing today, Sarah?
I don't know. I guess I'm doing okay.
It's so good to see you again.
I just can't keep living like this anymore. I'm always afraid. I don't sleep anymore.
Well, you shouldn't have to. I'm here to help you, not hurt you.
I know. Should we get started?
Thousands of times. I know, Mark, but I can't keep having this. I don't know what to tell you. No, Mark, stop. I'm stressed. Don't touch me. Get away. Janet. Janet. Janet.
What is happening?
You must leave.
No, what's going on?
Please, just go!
You've lost it. Do you have any idea what you're proposing?
Just listen, okay? With these machines, we can do things no one has ever dreamed of. We can go where no one has ever dreamed of.
So, you're suggesting that you and I go to the board and tell them that we're gonna build a time machine?
I know it's a little science fiction, okay? But listen, with you, I can figure out these equations, and your dad can get the board to give us the funding.
This is insane.
No, just listen, okay? Forget the notion that the machine can or cannot work, okay? But if it works, we can explore the future. We can save this dying planet.
Okay, Bono. Let's say we can play Mother Earth with these machines. What's to stop some bigwig from ripping the rug out from under us?
Time travelers will have the tools to dispatch any being that they encounter. Okay, and they'll always be able to get back here with a thing I call Time Hug.
tell you what. You show me that this machine can work, we'll take it to the board together. I'll start working the equations tonight. I can only imagine how much this is going to cost, and it's killing my head.
Trust me.
You really screwed the pooch on this one, Al.
You're not real. You're just temporal projection caused by brain damage.
All those trips scrambled up your brains. Of course I'm real. How else would I be talking?
I remember the first trip we ever went on. That was back before Laura went away. God. Beaches of Normandy. What the hell were we thinking, right? I was just glad we made it back.
Shut up! The machine did this to me, and you destroyed my life.
You tried to destroy what we built together. Do you have any idea how much that little machine is worth? You had to be stopped. Oh, what you got there, Al? What'd you come all this way for? What, did you try and stop us from building the machine? Maybe warn someone?
No, I'm so sorry. That was all me. I never pay attention to where I'm going. I was too busy worrying about the time.
Trust me, that makes two of us.
Are you one of those scientists trying to save the world?
It's just an experiment I'm conducting with a colleague. A secret experiment.
Ah, okay, Dr. Frankenstein.
So, what do you do?
Ugh, nothing as grand as you. I'm just heading over to my uncle's watch shop to drop off some antiques.
And what would time be without watches?
Wow, that is a really boring way of looking at it. You want to watch me exchange watches with an old man?
I'm thinking maybe I'll pick myself up a pocket watch. I always looked fancy with one.
Well, we are out of stock on those. Don't really have that big of a shop.
I see.
But, could use the company. Uncle Emmett isn't really someone you want to sneak up on alone.
You sure did love her.
Don't talk about her! You betrayed me. You took her from me!
You betrayed yourself. Think of everything we could have accomplished.
Time traveling destroys your mind. You're the proof. You don't exist!
Was it worth it? Frying your brain to hop on one more time?
She's everything to me. I am nothing without her. Seeing visions of someone as pathetic as you is worth even the smallest chance of seeing her again.
So beautiful.
It's my favorite spot.
Now close your eyes.
Thought we said no surprises.
Take an exception on our anniversary. Okay, open. See what's inside.
Okay.
I had to beat the old man with a stick to get it. Now, wherever you go, you'll always know what time it is back home.
You made me do it. Guess whose grant just got extended for another 8 years? Ours. The answer is ours. Hello? Did you hear me? 8 years! We're rich! We're loaded! No more doing research in a freaking boiler room, okay? We're bathing in cash.
Causes brain damage.
What are you talking about?
It creates insanity. Too many trips can break you down.
Okay, so that's why we'll have more than one traveler.
It turns your brain upside down. Living in more than one dimension creates mental divergence. It's too dangerous.
Hey, where are you going?
Your machines need to be shut down.
Alan, we need the grant.
It's never about money. It's about exploration and discovery, but not at this price.
Trust me, Alan. You don't want to turn the machine off.
Alan! Alan!
Don't you touch her!
What is that? This is a remote to the time machine. You like the design? You touch her, I send her, and then you'll never see her again. Unless you finish work on the machine.
Alan, don't listen to him. He's crazy.
Why would you even think of strapping her to the machine?
Oh, Alan, you know I can't read a book without skipping to the last chapter.
The machine has made you snap. Okay, that's why they have to be destroyed.
Okay, you know what? Let's just skip the monologue.
No!
If you ever want to see her again, you'll finish the machine.
You'll never find her.
You tell me where she is, or I swear to God, I will send you to the Jurassic period. And once you're there, I promise you won't find Littlefoot and his friends.
Finish the machine.
Don't make me do this.
In that case, I'll see you in hell.
didn't want to seem like a hero to you.
That's always what I liked about you. Always the hero, never cocky enough to admit it.
Doubt I've done anything too heroic.
You traveled through time and space for me. I'd say that constitutes as heroism. I remember the day we first met. Already I could see how much you cared.
I just wanted to travel through time. I didn't mean to create all this chaos.
Always making things so dramatic. Like I said, always the hero.
Off turning about the millennial and diurnal motion. Source of light, source of light. Left eye perpetual radiance, partner to continual labor and enjoyment. So that as we are constant partakers of thy bounty, we may in our particular orbit give out right.
Fuck everything, I'm gone. Leave it alone. Every time I get so close and it all gets blown. Don't play alone. Everybody think they know, but they all just clones. Marching alone. Really wanna give my skull a brand new home. But I won't though. I don't wanna get no blood in my grandma flow. But in my soul, one fin the plane and the other one inferno. Messy, yo, I can be messing no others and that's about so below. You say bitch don't know a damn thing, said what the fuck you told. You cannot fuck with a level 10 mace I go. I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm John D. Got my black magic book and drew a circle round me. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm not me. I'm a beast, I'm a killer, I'm a young Crowley. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm John D. Got my black magic book and drew a circle round me. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm not me. I'm a beast, I'm a killer, I'm a young Crowley. Cut on my show, get fucked in the soul. Spitting the hype, pretty good chance, so got a lot of shit with no control. Drop me a shot, I'm rubbing on the floor. Some of the demons are watching the go. Different the business, they come and they go. Welcome to the Jones, still go ghost.
Had enough dope, had enough hope. Where do I go? Where do I go? Now when I know, seen what I seen, I'm a lonely soul. I can better tell a friend for foe. All that I know is I don't know where to call home, where to go, know how to get snow. In a safe place, I'm a dead end Joe. Still when I cut to the play, let's go.
I hate everything. We are not the same, I can feel no pain. I hate everything. We are not the same, I can feel no pain.
I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm John D. Got my black magic book and draw a circle round me. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm not me. I'm a beast, I'm a killer, I'm a young Crowley. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm John D. Got my black magic book and draw a circle round me. Bitch, I wake up in the morning feeling like I'm not me. I'm a beast, I'm a killer, I'm a young Crowley.
Table, me and my baby are out here on the floor, and we're having a party. Everybody's swinging, dance to the music on the radio. So listen, Mr. DJ, keep those kids playing. 'Cause I'm having such a good time dancing with my baby. Everybody's swaying. Bobby's doing the twist now. If you take requests, I got a feel for you. Don't forget the soul twist. Play that one chord I know. I got the Sumi, the other songs will do, and we're having a party. Everybody's swinging, dance to the music
you doing? You're 78 years old. There's no reason for you to do this right now, Jack.
I'm going. Let go of me, Jeff.
So what's next?
We wait until spring. But before that, I want you to plant this. You can put it right over there toward the back of the lot.
What is it?
Just do it.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Jack, stop. Stop.
We wait until spring.
It's not Bruce's garden, it's Daddy's garden.
You hear that, Jerry?
Sure did.
That's right, Brianna. You're absolutely right.
Well, I'm sorry, my dear. Never thought the end was so near. A heart full of snakes and a bed full of rage left me with a fistful of tears. Wave the ocean, wave the sea. After I'm gone, just remember me sometimes. The water's deep, dark and blue. There ain't nothing left to do. So darling, be strong. I'll cross before long, and I'll wait on the far shores for you. Wave the ocean, wave the sea. One day those waters will bring you back to me.
First of all, Ryan, we all really thoroughly enjoyed your film. Erica and Justin they actually work in the film department. I am just an appreciator. And I got to tell you, man, like one of the first things that really caught me was the Super 8 footage, like legitimately looked, there were a few seconds where I was like, wait, is this found footage or did he shoot this? And I think that's like really hard to do, So how did you do that? I mean, your costume and hair and makeup were just so perfect for that period piece point of it. So let us know a little bit of how that whole thing came up.
So I knew by shooting it on Super 8, it would have like a timeless feel. And then we just needed, my friend Andy, who is also a Five Towns alumni, he built this like garden at his parents' like farm. And it just gave a timelessness to it, and then just tried to get the wardrobe right. And I think when you do anything on Super 8 or any real tangible format, especially when you're mixing it with even Super 16 or say even like HD footage, it'll automatically bring a timelessness to it. And I think to this day, I still have projects where mixing the kind of media that you're shooting on will, like, I know that's the easiest way to kind of bring you back to a specific place and time, because that's how that footage would have been documented then.
Played by the DJ on the radio.
Of course, at the end with the dedication that indicates that, this is related to a true story. And I was able to look up a little bit more about the actual Bruce's Garden. Could you speak a little bit more to that, the history of how you came upon this story and how it was an inspiration for the film?
Throughout like college, I was making like mostly comedy stuff, which is still what I do. And like I kind of knew I wanted to take a big swing with my thesis, just because why not? And I wasn't really looking, but my dad, who is a Port Authority police officer around 9/11, he like has a bunch of stuff in his office, and he was always telling me about his friend Bruce that died. And I I was just Googling, not to like make a movie, but I was like kind of interested. And I'd met him when I was a kid. And I read this story about like how his dad and him had this garden that they made in Inwood back in like, the 80s or 70s, whatever. And I found it really moving because basically when Bruce died and shortly after 9/11, Jack Reynolds, his father, just went back to the garden and started kind of replanting and turning it into this thing. And right now it's this like beautiful park in Inwood. And I found it very moving, and I wanted to originally I wanted to make it as like a silent visual poem type film, which obviously isn't what it is, but I thought it would be like a challenging story to conquer. And at the time, when I was considering it as an idea and making it into a film, like initially we had the support of Jack Reynolds and the community. They were very supportive at first, but now right before production, they kind of pulled a 180 on us, and we still shot it, which like now as a more seasoned filmmaker, I don't know if I would have kept pushing to tell someone else's story that way. But I felt this strong connection to it, and I thought it would be a chance to just do something very different and to this story that I think people didn't know really much about. And I thought it was interesting how in the wake of tragedy that this man just went back and kind of reclaimed this space that he started with his son and like a bunch of kids.
But before that, I want you to plant this. You can put it right over there toward the back of the lot.
What is it?
Just do it.
Ryan, you wisely cast Andre DeShields to play Jack Reynolds. He's so committed with his performance, and I think you proved that you are able to cast a film well and collaborate with your actors. What was that like? Were there some challenges?
I kind of learned quickly that you can't just rely on your lead performance. Like every piece of the ensemble has to work. And working with Andre was very, very cool. The way I met him, I did craft services on this movie with him and Dakota Johnson over the summer of the year before my senior year. And he was super nice there. And then when I figured out that this was my thesis, I was just like, I needed an actor the right age who can look the part and everything. I'm like, let me see if Andre DeShields will do it. And he like remembered me from doing Crafty and getting him like these Reese's candies that I put to the side for him. And he told his agent, like, because we called thinking that he was going to shoot it down because it was, a student film and why would he want to waste his time? And he said yes, because he told his agent, he's like, tell him I'll do anything he wants. And that just came from giving him, you know, like a little extra something on the side during this, you know, feature film. But Andre, it was really great, because that was my experience for the first time where I was lucky enough where I felt like I had a seasoned actor taking the work seriously, asking questions that I didn't necessarily know the answers to. And he was very connected and committed to it. And it's been great too to see his career obviously was in a big place already then, but to see it kind of take off again the last few years has been awesome. And I've been lucky enough to work with Andre a couple times since.
Grandpa, it's not Bruce's garden, it's Daddy's garden.
You hear that, Jerry? Sure did. That's right, Brianna. You're absolutely right.
What? Where am I? Hello? Hello? Oh my god, I'm in hell. I shouldn't have masturbated last night. Wait a minute. It smells like shit. It's gotta be Chevy Chase's apartment. Chevy Chase. Who is that? Show yourself, she devil. Come on! Where the hell am I, is what I want to know.
You're inside your head.
Your mind's eye.
Your inner being
Everything that is you.
lives where you stand.
So that means I can do whatever I want. What's back there?
Your potential.
That sounds fun.
Wanna see?
No. I need to see it. I need it. More than anything in the world. I need it because it's forbidden.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. But the speculation danger must be broken. There's a hell alone. Is it crystal river alone? Yes, the danger must be broken. With the birds keep on rolling. And it's circling
Donovan.
Father?
Hello, son.
I'm sorry, Donald, man. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for?
I don't know.
You should know.
Because I'm a fuckface.
No, Donovan. You're not even good enough to be a fuckface. You're just a pussy crotch.
Oh yeah? You're a fuckface, Dad.
Why do you put on all those stupid fucking costumes anyway?
Why? You want to know why? You question my reality? You question my fate? Do you know why I do this? I do it because I am me. I do it because people love it. I do it because I'm an actor, a character, an entertainer. But most of all, I'm not afraid to step out of my comfort zone. I'm not afraid to be me.
Why don't you just put on a dress and dance around and do a little pussy prance?
I did it last week on YouNow.com, and I don't care what you think. Wait a second. You do realize you're in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what the hell?
Look at this. You look like a fat fuck.
You know, I kind of like it.
It kind of grows on you, like a parasite of sorts. Or maybe even a tapeworm.
Yeah, I get it now. Good job, son. I'm proud of you. Still wish we had you aborted, but a little less now.
Jesus!
Good job, son.
Father?
That's weird.
Oh, man.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a lot of sweat. More than usual. Oh, God. Ugh. Oh, God.
Stop! Get out! Hey!
One of a Mind, Donovan. That is a film that you guys made that we got to watch. I think, more surprised with the effects you were able to use in a student film at that time. I did not see that coming. So why don't you speak a little bit about to that and how that worked?
Me and Merck did all the effects.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's a media art show every year at Five Towns, and the film division always does a demonstration, kind of to show off the gear and show off the shots. And at that point in time, we had a tradition where instead of just doing a big setup, we would try to actually make a film. So if any high schoolers or high school teachers came up to us, we wouldn't just have to say, oh, this is what we're doing. We could also tell them why we were doing it and kind of have a backstory to go along with it. And that particular year, it had rained. And normally we would do this setup in the courtyard, but we were forced into the studio. Donovan had volunteered to be the actor for the demonstration. And I had volunteered to make the film. And since it was raining and we were stuck in the studio and there was no set in the studio at all, it was just a white cyc and nothing else. We had to think of something interesting that we could do within the confines of that situation.
So that means I can do whatever I want.
So we decided to go for something that would be more VFX heavy. And Merck and myself had been self-teaching ourselves how to use After Effects for a couple of years at this point. And our whole motto with visual effects has always been, if we aren't sure how to do something, we say that we know how to do it anyway and figure out how to do it later. And that's kind of what we did here, which is, I guess, a little bit of a risky move, but it hasn't let us down yet because we've been dedicated to watching tutorials and really taking the time to sit down and spend hours and hours figuring out how to make this look good. And it paid off, we think, for that one crazy visual effect where it's spinning around Donovan.
So this was happening during the Long Island Media Arts Show. Did any of the high school students interact or get involved at all?
I don't know if the rules have changed now, but we weren't supposed to let them touch the gear at the time. But they would come in and ask us questions, and we would take breaks from shooting and talk to them. And if we were doing a dolly shot or if whatever setup we were doing, we would explain what we were doing, why we were doing it, what was happening in the scene, and what the different camera and gear was. So, and that happened quite a few times.
Yeah, there was a group of students from the year beforehand who remembered me, because when we did film in the courtyard, we did a film where the audio got messed up. And they came the next year, and I actually ended up working with them, like putting them on like a few short film shoots, because I met them twice already. So it was because of that connection. I was like, hey, you want to come and do this film shoot? When they were like ready out of the high school, I think they were like ready to go into college. So that was like a cool connection because I had met them twice already from the Media Arts Show and doing those films out in the courtyard in the 303 studio.
Oh my God, I'm in hell. I shouldn't have masturbated last night.
I was told to ask Phil about the ending and how it incorporated from Donovan's senior project, the Donovan Santiago Show.
Oh boy. So we originally in the script had it that we always wanted it to be some kind of dream, and it was originally like a dream within a dream. We were gonna have to shoot a couple more scenes in 2 different bedrooms, but I was never in love with that ending. So Merck and I were brainstorming like, what can we do? And then we remembered that in Donovan's in the Donovan Santiago Show, he did one sketch where it's the joke is morning wood. I think Donovan can explain how that actually ends, but we asked Donovan for permission to repurpose that and make it something way more lewd.
Oh no.
Originally, the joke with the morning wood is like, oh, you think he's going to do something inappropriate? And then a minute later, he pulls out, oh, I've just had a piece of wood under here the entire time. Because I kind of like doing that thing, that little misdirect where people think one thing and then something else happens. But then one of the mind, of course, used it for, for that, which I just watched the clip. I'm like, oh, great. The kids are going to love this.
Oh, it's a lot of sweat. More than usual. Oh, God. Ugh. Oh, God.